I can do it.
In the middle of the sea, destroyers, cruisers, and battleships fire special weapons and harpoons at one of the creatures, attempting to help turn the tide in favor of one. But they appear to have almost no effect on the gigantic monster.
I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob, and this is SCP-3700, also known as the Tides of War. SCP-3700 is what the SCP Foundation has labeled an 800-kilometer circular area in the North Sea, located southeast of Iceland and north of the United Kingdom. The circle contains the Faroe, Orkney, and Shetland Islands. The seafloor is abnormally deep in this area, at roughly 5 kilometers below the ocean surface, roughly 20 times deeper than the rest of the North Sea. SCP-3700 experiences all kinds of strange, anomalous activity, including extreme weather and geological events. These are caused by the interaction between two separate entities, which have been designated as SCP-3700-1 and SCP-3700-2.
This one's so weird.
SCP-3700-1 is an arthropod resembling the common lobster, except this crustacean is 6 kilometers long. It has a variety of blue, yellow, pink, and red markings.
Has a lady's
carved into
face on it.
carapace that resembles a woman's face. It has 6 arm-like limbs, 4 of which have claws, with 2 having club-like appendages on the end, and 8 legs. It also has 4 orange eyes at the end of stalks. 3701's carapace shows significant damage, with many scars, cracks, and even some holes that reveal its soft inner tissue. It has several anomalous capabilities that it uses in its battle against SCP-3700-2. Its 2 club-like appendages are capable of striking, but they also
Yeah, they
produce
just kill
a
it.
cavitation bubble that
Solves
generates
world
a force
hunger.
equal to several tons of dynamite, similar to what the mantis shrimp is able to do, but on a much larger scale.
They make giant calamari rings
2
out of
its
it.
eyes are able to project concentrated blasts of gamma radiation, and it's able to stop storms or other weather phenomena. Despite being
It's just like a
6
Pokemon,
kilometers
isn't
long,
it?
3701 can reach speeds faster than 100 kilometers per hour, and has even shown the ability to demanifest and disappear if it doesn't locate SCP-3700-2 within roughly 15 days after appearing.
It gets, like, so complicated, though.
SCP-3701 appears to be friendly in nature and shows some small
Yeah, it
signs
has
of
flowers.
intelligence.
Looking at
When
it.
accompanied by Foundation ships, it will either ignore them or provide a small amount of aid by helping to move disabled craft away from danger. After appearing, it travels the full 800-kilometer area of SCP-3700 in a spiral pattern.
Ah,
from the
yes,
center
the
out toward
lands
the
of
edge.
there.
Interestingly, the center is
there.
the exact center point between the 3 island chains located within the circle, and is home to numerous
I thought those
shipwrecks.
were like continents.
Since being first discovered by the Foundation in 1922,
Also, Dr. Bob is
3701
Professor Oak.
has slowed down
Let's face
considerably
it.
in its movement and has lost a significant amount of mass. It was first measured at a length of 16 kilometers.
They're exactly the same
a
height.
full 10 kilometers longer than its current state.
Damn.
It also appears weaker and seems to be having a much harder time subduing SCP-3700-2. SCP-3700-2, on the other hand, looks like it belongs to the family of ray-finned fish.
Wouldn't it
and has
eventually
an
get so
appearance
big that it
closely
would just, like,
resembles the pelican eel,
compromise
except that it has
the
13
atmosphere of the
appendages
planet, or like
encircling
push
the
it out
middle
of orbit
section
or
of its
something?
body. These appendages look like the tentacles of an octopus, complete with suckers.
If it just kept getting
and can
bigger
tuck
every
them
time.
into its body when not in use. 3702 is currently 32 kilometers long, and opposite to SCP-3701, it is growing larger, having only been 300 meters long when first identified in 1945. Most of that length.
Yeah,
is
but
the
eventually it
creature's
just wouldn't
whip-like
make sense
tail
anymore.
That ends in a sharpened point. It's currently roughly 1 kilometer wide at its largest point, and each of its 13 tentacles is around 60 meters long. Its most distinctive feature,
Like at the end
is
of
its massive
that
mouth,
Cloverfield
which
movie.
can open up almost 3 kilometers wide. 3702 is black in color, with white, purple, and red bioluminescent lines that resemble a man's face on either side of its torso.
Man.
SCP-3702 can create sudden changes in the weather, generating huge storms and Category 5 hurricanes. as well as
Now
massive
you're a
whirlpools
man.
that suck in any vessel within 150 meters before grabbing them with its tentacles and tearing them apart. It's also able to produce high-energy sound waves and streams of blue
Yeah,
fire
just like
from
wouldn't
its
even be able to
mouth
move
that
at a
it
certain
uses
point.
to destroy close-range targets.
But I guess that doesn't
SCP-3702 appears
like,
at random locations within the 800-kilometer
adhere
area,
to those
except
laws,
during
though.
the spring and autumn equinoxes, when it appears at the exact center of SCP-3700. It stays submerged unless it encounters 3701 or another object, and will demanifest roughly 15 days after first appearing. It's extremely hostile to any creature or object that approaches it, and has even been witnessed destroying entire pods of whales.
Damn, why?
Conventional weapons have no effect on it, and even special anomalous weapons used by the Foundation have only had a moderate effect. Only 3701 has so far been able
It
to
fucking
subdue it.
dives on it.
When SCP-3701 and 3702 do meet each other, they will engage in a prolonged fight, with each attempting to temporarily kill or subdue the other. Historically, the winner of each contest would swap depending on which half of the year it was, with 3701 consistently winning during the Northern Hemisphere's spring and summer, and
Damn, those
3702 winning during the fall and winter. However, since the Foundation has begun implementing containment procedures, SCP-3701 has won the last 64 cycles in a row. A number of changes
Damn.
happen when one of the creatures wins. When 3701 is successful, major storms in the area immediately cease, crop yields double,
Crop
and
yields
local
double.
oceanic life increases their reproductive rates by a factor of 3.
Exactly.
This can lead to dead zones forming from the overpopulation of certain species of zooplankton. Erosion rates on the islands also increase by a factor of 5, which has led to the Foundation needing to bring in large amounts of dirt and sand in an attempt to combat it.
Those islands
When
are just falling apart.
SCP-3702 wins and subdues or kills 3701, the weather becomes very dangerous, with powerful hurricanes and rapid temperature changes that can range from below zero.
So every
to
time
over
there's a
28
hurricane, one of
degrees
these fucking
Celsius,
things won.
capable of causing massive damage to buildings and huge losses of
Apparently,
life.
there's gonna be like Hurricane
Travel by sea
Connecticut
becomes
tomorrow.
extremely difficult
Or
due to
tornado,
huge
I mean.
waves and storm surges,
Same thing.
making it difficult for supplies to reach the
Oh
islands.
fuck! I messed that up.
Ocean food sources are driven from the area, and crop yields are reduced. Following its victory, 3702 does not demanifest, and instead continues to patrol the area and attack vessels, and will even approach the islands themselves. Foundation Naval Task Force Delta 7, nicknamed Northern Storm, is tasked
Northern
with locating
Storm.
and assisting SCP-3701 in its struggle against 3702.
Imagine just being a dude with a
Purchased
harpoon
from the
gun in
United
that
States
situation.
military, it consists
Like,
of
damn, I'm
13
gonna die.
destroyers, 5 cruisers, and 15 smaller support craft.
I
When
love that
Delta
they're all
7
just
locates
in a fleet like that.
SCP-3701, it will often acknowledge their presence by raising 2 of its claws into the air and clicking them while making a low, rumbling noise with its mouth. Delta 7 then accompanies
There it goes.
SCP-3701 as it patrols its 800-kilometer area for 3702. Once the two meet, Delta 7 engages in Protocol
It'd be a
Winter
sick
Maelstrom,
video game.
where the destroyers shoot harpoon-based anchors into 3702's head before moving
Like,
in a
you have to
circular
control
pattern
the
while
army
they and
while the
battleships
kaiju
fire on
fight.
it to ensure it can't orient itself. The cruisers, meanwhile, attempt to draw its attention by firing and moving
It's like
in a
an
serpentine
RTS.
pattern at a distance of 300 meters. The two
Tactical
creatures
game
will
or something like
battle,
that.
blasting each other with gamma radiation and powerful sound waves.
Or even like
They
XCOM-ish.
whip, bite, and club each other, cracking armor and ripping off tentacles and other appendages, until one finally stops moving and dissolves into the sea. Should SCP-3702 be successful in defeating 3701, then Project Tumult is activated, and the following
Tumult.
procedures must take place. First, there is an immediate evacuation of all naval and civilian craft.
There's
from
actually a
the
Kaiju
800-kilometer
Wars
zone.
game on Steam right
Next,
now. There's a demo
all
for it.
trade
It's
and
pretty cool. I
ferry
played it
routes
a few
are
weeks
stopped
ago.
Or rerouted for at least 6 months, and land-based aquatic defenses are activated. Aerial craft will continue to monitor and engage with 3700.
It's like Advanced Wars, but with kaiju, called Kaiju Wars. It's very cool.
Since it appears that
Got a good
SCP-3701
style, too.
continues to physically degrade, and with the exact
I'll
opposite
buy
being
that when it
true
comes
for
out.
3702, it's been proposed to let 3702 win and subdue 3701 twice every 5 years,
Yeah.
despite the terrible effect on locals in the area. Though this plan has yet to be approved, it may be the only chance to stop 3702 from becoming so strong that 3701 is never able to defeat it again.
Never again. This series is just Dr. Bob's. Yeah, it's just literally called Dr. Bob. The name of the channel. It's just like SCP stuff, though. Let's do one more short video, and then I'm going to play some World of Horror. But that's really, like I said, that's the first Dr. Bob I think we watched. Now we've gone back all the way. I don't think we've missed any of them. I think. Confusing. They keep putting out a lot of like shorts now too. We did like Zombie Dinosaur. The Man-Eating Building. I think that was one of the first ones we did too. That one was really good. All right, let's do the Man-Eating Bus again, actually. This one was awesome.
A young woman on her way home is walking down a city street. And just like most nights, the downtown empties out after the working day ends.
The bus.
Leaving the streets empty of both cars and pedestrians. She hates when she has to close the shop and walk to her bus stop alone. And she is excited that in just another week, she will be starting a new job that's just around the corner from where she lives. She just has to get through these last few nights of being the last one at the store and having to walk home alone. Her more immediate concern now, though, is that her music has stopped. The young woman takes her phone out to check it. Dead. She must have forgotten to plug in the charger.
No.
She hates when she does that. Now she'd have to spend the bus ride staring out the window at nothing. What was that?
Yeah, I think this is an early one too.
The woman looks up from her phone. Did she see someone? She turns around and sees something on the other side of the street.
Their animation
It's
is
dark,
getting
and all she can make out is a
much
big
better.
shadowy figure. She doesn't stare for long, though.
She hated
Starts
that.
to walk again, picking up her pace slightly. She can hear the sound of footsteps and glances over her shoulder. The person across the street is moving too, and they seem to be matching her pace, avoiding any streetlights to remain in darkness. She starts to move a little quicker, and so do they. The young woman grips the pepper spray in her pocket. She doesn't know what this person is doing.
Yeah, they have their
or what
own
they want.
style at least.
She's going to be ready for
Not
them.
like Family
She
Guy
keeps walking and
animations,
glances
you know.
over her shoulder again. They're crossing the street towards her now. She ducks into an alley, and as soon as she's around the corner and out of sight, she starts to run.
Dr. Bob.
She sprints through the alley as fast as she can. She looks behind her, frightened of what she might see, but no one is there. Maybe she was wrong and they weren't following her, but she's not about to stop running and find out. She emerges from the alley still running as hard as she can. She reaches her bus stop
Yeah, it's
and
not bad.
finally stops to catch her breath. She checks her watch. The bus should be pulling up right now.
You could tell you're
It's nowhere to
watching
be seen.
like a Dr.
She
Bob
looks
thing, I
around,
think, kind of.
and what she does see is a shadowy figure coming out of the alley, and it's coming straight towards her. She backs up into the bus stop and takes the pepper spray out of her pocket, her finger ready on the trigger. The shadowy figure keeps moving towards her when suddenly the dark street is lit up. The woman looks behind her to see her savior. It's the bus. She turns back to see the shadowy figure retreating to the alley, as if the light is pushing it away. The woman breathes a sigh of relief and finally
Good
lets
bus.
some of the tension in her body release as the bus comes to a stop in front of her. The door swings open and the woman steps inside. "I've never been so happy to get on the bus," she says to the driver as she scans her transit card. The driver doesn't respond, though. In fact, he doesn't react to her at all. He just keeps staring straight ahead. The woman doesn't push it, though. She's just happy to be on the bus, even if it is completely empty. She heads to the back of the bus and takes a seat. As the bus pulls
Right
away,
on the bus.
she can almost swear she could see the shadowy figure standing
Get
in the
on
alley,
the bus.
watching her.
Damn, Mono, you better
The
be
bus
careful.
rumbles along the empty city streets as the woman looks out the window and takes deep breaths, trying to calm herself after her
Because the next
harrowing
part
ordeal.
may shock you.
After a while, she notices that the bus doesn't seem to be stopping as much as it normally does, or at all for that matter. Did they change the route? Or did she get on the wrong bus? They are approaching her stop though, so it doesn't matter, and she reaches up to pull the cord. A bell chimes and the stop requested light illuminates in the front of the bus, but the driver doesn't show any sign of stopping or even slowing down. She pulls the cord again, but still no reaction.
Bus can't go slower
As
than
she
50
sees her
miles per
building go
hour.
by, she calls out, "Hey, this is my stop." But the driver doesn't acknowledge her at all. She stands up and walks to the front. "Didn't you hear me? This is my stop." Still no reaction from the driver. "Hey, I said..." She reaches out and grabs his shoulder, spinning him towards her, only to find herself staring into the eyes of a fresh corpse. The woman screams and jumps back as the driver slumps forward towards her. She's terrified by the dead body, as well as the fact that the bus will crash. But when she looks at the steering wheel, she sees that it is continuing to move on its own. The woman is in a full-blown panic now. She screams and pounds on the door, but it won't open. The engine roars as the bus starts to pick up speed. She doesn't know what to do and runs to the back where she tries the rear door, but it doesn't budge either. The bus speeds up even more, whipping around corners and tossing her from side to side.
Turn off the bus.
She's thrown to the ground and hits her head. Her eyelids feel like they weigh 100 pounds, and she struggles to keep them open. She manages to stay awake, though, and as she looks up in a daze, staring at the ceiling of the bus, she can see a green gas emanating from the vents.
The dew
It's the last thing
gas.
she sees before her eyes
The Mountain
close.
Dew gas.
The bus finally comes to a stop in a deserted area of the city. The vehicle raises slightly as, one after another, each wheel appears to unfold, revealing them to be long, black, spindly legs. The bus stands up on these insectoid appendages.
This is
as
how
its
they make
roof
more
splits into
Baja,
two
Baja
massive
Blast.
wings. The
Baja
bus then
Blast?
leaps up
Oh
into
my
the
God.
sky, spreading
Talk
its
to me.
wings, and flies off into the
It just
night.
flies away. I remember
How could this
that.
young woman have known that after escaping danger, that her rescuer would be something
Laja.
worse, much worse? Unfortunately for her,
I thought it was like
she
a
had just
worm.
willingly stepped onto an instance of SCP-2086, a deadly and terrifying anomaly
But, like,
that
burrowed
hides
into
in
the
plain
ground.
sight as it stalks and hunts its human prey. SCP-2086 is the designation the SCP Foundation has given to a species that appears to belong to the arthropod phylum, a group that also includes arachnids and crustaceans. These strange creatures differ from most of their lobster and spider brethren in that they make use of an advanced form of camouflage to move among modern society unseen.
I wonder if they
Adult
taste good.
SCP-2086 instances all resemble some sort of public transportation vehicle, with the exact make, model, year, and branding varying from instance to instance. SCP-2086 instances move about the streets of our cities foraging for food, and at first glance, they are virtually indistinguishable from the standard transit vehicles they are mimicking. Close examination of them, though, will reveal that the steel, wood, plastic, and glass they are composed of aren't those materials at all, but a form of specialized chitin, which is the substance that makes up the hard exoskeleton of many insects and other arthropods. And that's not the only aspect of SCP-2086 that isn't actually what it appears to be. The wheels on the bus may go round and round, but they also
He
are
said it.
capable of unraveling into long, thin legs that create a very imposing image when SCP-2086 is standing up at its full height. The roof, too, is able to unfurl into a set of giant insectoid wings, and after leaping into the air with its powerful
It's
legs,
gone.
the wings will spread, and the bus can take flight, which appears to be its preferred method of travel when it is not in its camouflaged hunting mode.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Its
doubt it if the
headlights,
animator
too,
was
are an entirely
probably
biological mechanism,
looking at
consisting
real
of two
buses.
large
It would make sense.
bioluminescent optical organs similar to those possessed by SCP-015-IT and SCP-745.
What?
Dissections of SCP-2086 specimens have shown them to have an entire system of organs, including a heart, brain, and stomach, which are found beneath the flooring in the creature's interior chamber. SCP-2086 appendages are not just used for locomotion, though, and they have been observed as being able to use them
What?
for fine object manipulation. This fact was learned when they were observed building crude shelters from scrap materials at their nesting grounds. More on these nests and the terrifying events that take place there later. When SCP-2086 is not at its nest,
It's like a
it
transformer.
engages in its foraging behavior. Typically, an SCP-2086 instance will fly to the start of a route and begin driving along city streets, picking up human passengers who willingly enter the creature's inner chamber, thinking that it is a standard bus. Along with its exoskeleton closely resembling a real vehicle, SCP-2086 has one more particularly gruesome trick to fool would-be passengers into becoming its prey. A bus that drives itself would lead many to think twice about stepping
Yeah,
on
it's a good
board.
question,
So
Lutron.
SCP-2086 makes use of a decoy driver, which is actually a human
it was just a
corpse
twist,
encased
but
and
who
preserved
knows?
in a shellac-like substance.
Shellac.
Smaller, fibrous appendages protrude from the front seat and into the corpse, which hold it in place and are even capable of manipulating the corpse, giving it the appearance of movement as it drives the bus. Once SCP-2086 has gathered up what it considers to be enough victims, a number that appears to vary from instance to instance, it will release a noxious gas from its interior vents.
No, not the
The
gas.
gas produces an effect in humans similar to chloroform, and everyone on board will be rendered unconscious. The creature, now filled with its prey, does not feed on the humans trapped inside it, though. Instead, it will take them to its nesting grounds, which is where the real horror begins. These nesting grounds are most often localized in scrap and junkyards that have fallen into disuse or are completely abandoned. And it is in these nests that the juvenile instances of
Look at 'em.
SCP-2086 are found. While a full-grown instance can weigh as much as 17,000 kilograms, which is the approximate curb weight of a normal bus, extensive field research and observation into SCP-2086 has led to the identification of the smaller, juvenile instances,
Little
which are
baby
much
ones.
smaller than their adult counterparts, weighing under 200 kilograms.
Aw.
But they don't stay this size for long. When an adult SCP-2086 arrives back at the nest with its interior chamber filled with human prey, it will open its doors and allow the juvenile members to enter inside of it so they can feed.
Interior
and grow.
chamber, human viscera.
Once inside, a juvenile will
Of
remove
human-
a passenger from the bus and take them outside. The effects of the
Viscera.
chloroform gas will often begin to wear off at this time, but by this point, it is already too late. The juvenile instance will then proceed to force the
Interior
human into a hole
chamber,
located
human
under their
viscera.
hood. This leads to a sort of digestive tract that connects to its inner chamber where the driver's seat is located. Small, hair-like
Poor guy.
appendages will then emerge from the seat and protrude into the prey's body, which hold them in place in the driver's seat and trap them there, while at the same time acting as feeding tubes, draining the blood from the now doomed passenger. Once the person has been completely drained of blood, the feeding tubes will begin secreting a saline solution as the internal compartment fills with a shellac-like substance, and the effects of both combine to effectively embalm and preserve the corpse, which will serve as its own decoy driver once it enters adulthood. And this process happens quite quickly. A newborn SCP-2086 will reach adulthood in just 1 week, provided that it has had access to nutrients.
What the
at which
fuck?
point, it will begin searching for new sources of prey for its own offspring, of which it will likely have plenty. 2086 instances become capable of reproduction at 8 days, and females are able to produce up to 20 offspring, but their lives are quite short, with their entire life cycle usually lasting just 12 to 15 days. Prior to feeding and beginning the process of becoming a full-size adult, juveniles will also leave the nest and will covertly move about the city, removing bus stop signposts and relocating them, often creating a route that leads back to its own nest. These are the routes that adult instances will then typically follow as they hunt for more prey to bring back to their colony. SCP-2086 instances have been found in metropolitan areas around the world, and news reports are closely monitored by the Foundation for missing persons that had recently used public transport, with Foundation field agents being dispatched to potential high-threat areas to investigate further. Any nests that are discovered have their locations condemned, if they weren't already, and demolished using chemical explosives. Previously, an effort was made to capture and contain live instances of SCP-2086, and currently, the Foundation has 5 such specimens
look at
in
all the
its
different
custody,
ones.
which are stored in a converted airplane hangar.
Yeah, it's like
Due to
different
their
depending
short
on the
lifespans
city.
and high rate
It
of
adapts to the city
the
that
amount
it's
of
in.
live specimens contained at any given time can vary
To
widely.
the
and will often depend
decoration
on
of
the
the
number
buses
of available
there.
D-class
Makes sense.
personnel who can serve as drivers. Terminated specimens are either destroyed or
Damn.
sent to a specialized cold storage container at a secure site for further biological research. SCP-2086 continues to be one of the most dangerous anomalies for common, everyday users of public transportation, and the SCP Foundation has classified it as Keter.
Yeah, I can
While
see it being a
identified
cartoon
colonies
show.
are able to be destroyed with minimal effort once discovered, there is no telling how many nesting grounds still remain in the wild. So the next time you're about to board a bus, pay extra careful attention to it, or you may find that your bus is rerouting you somewhere you never wanted
Yeah,
to
always
go.
touch the bus driver.
Now go
Good
and watch
idea.
the file on another case of automotive terror, SCP-745, the headlights. And
The
don't forget to
headlights.
subscribe to be the first to learn about the next anomaly from the SCP Foundation's classified archives.
Good old Dr. Bob. Yeah, just pat your bus driver. They definitely won't, most likely. Like, you know, what the fuck? What are you doing? If there's any outdoor Shalongs. I missed, really. Nah. Not really. Now we're gonna watch one Sir Spook, and then we're gonna move over to World of Horror.
I can't imagine how terrifying it must have been to hear.
Yeah, just make sure it's not a fucking bug puppet. Bug puppet. The fuck is this video?
So if any of you are interested, I do recommend checking it out in full. Without a doubt, the creepiest and most unexplainable event in the video happens at around the 1 hour and 15-minute mark. It seems as though the uploader and a friend or crew member
Dirty,
are
where
trying
the
to
fuck
make
they are.
contact with the dead with the help of a Ouija board, when suddenly something from the corner of the room catches their eye and baffles them. Take a look.
There's a fire.
Miren mi celular. Mira.
The Luigi board.
Mira.
Is that a mom?
Mira,
Is
en
that the?
persona se ve.
Sí se ve. Se ve
No
acá.
manches, no manches, no manches, no manches, no
Se
manches.
ve acá. ¿Qué es eso?
No mummies.
¿Sí se
¿Qué
ve?
es eso?
Cierra la sesión.
Cierra la sesión.
¿Será la persona?
No sé. ¿Qué es esa luz?
No tengo idea.
¿Qué es esa luz?
No, apágala, apágala, apágala. Hay que guiarnos.
No me puedo ir a oscuras.
What is this? It's just fucking nothing.
¿Qué es esa luz?
Cerró la sesión y ya no se vio.
Ya no está.
After this happens, the channel owners attempt to find out where exactly this mysterious light of fire is coming from, but they don't seem to be able to find anything.
¿Qué fue?
But
Mira, como si saliera de aquí de este hoyo.
No sé.
why would you fucking put the video in there then?
En esto.
¿Qué fue? ¿No está eso?
Camina, no te quedes atrás.
No sé si se vio en la transmisión, pero clarito. Lo vi yo en
¿Qué fue eso, viste?
Radiant bright light.
Resplandecencia, como si fuera fuego.
Sí.
What could have possibly caused such a strange event? If you have any theories on this, I would love to hear what they are in the comment section down below.
Nothing. Well, I see the fire, but that doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything for me.
A man on YouTube runs a channel called The Prometheus 82, and on it are various different random videos, but nothing on the channel could really be classified as creepy. However, one video uploaded in November of 2020 changes that notion. In the video,
Thanksgiving
it looks as
ghost.
though his family's getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner, as we can see him and his daughter in the kitchen area.
Maybe you should
And if
like
you
put a
look
shirt
in the
on.
oven, you can see food in there. All
When
in
you're
all,
cooking,
this seems
you
like
should
a very
maybe
normal
not-
and ordinary Thanksgiving
whatever.
family get together. But then,
In the
out of
privacy of
nowhere,
your own home, I
this
guess you can wear no
happens.
shirt if you want while you're cooking. Who am I to judge? But that's kind of weird. What the fuck are they doing?
What just knocked over?
What just knocked down?
What just knocked over?
The way way the bottle
he, like,
toppled over
throwing a
like that
fat
indeed
lip?
seems very unnatural and definitely not the result of a wind gust from an open window or anything
His
like
mouth
that.
looks like Popeye's
The
mouth or
man in the
something.
video stated on Reddit that the house is over 70 years old and has had many owners, and says that Texas is quite haunted when it
Mini
comes to
Gatorade
ghosts.
bottle.
Prometheus even replied to a
Just
comment
looking for
on the video,
electrolytes.
stating that he didn't want to scream in front of his daughter despite being scared himself. He wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to freak out, but was still terrified.
The Prometheus.
And it's not hard to see why.
Volume kind of low.
In November 2012, a woman on YouTube known as Mel3385 uploaded a video which sees her walking
Have you
around
seen
her
this?
hotel room and
What about the
proceeding
gang?
to call out hello,
Who's the
seemingly
gang?
trying to talk to somebody that we cannot see on camera. Right from the beginning, this particular piece of footage is sure to give you the chills. Something about it gives off an indescribable goosebump-inducing feeling, and it gets all the more creepy once she walks into the bathroom and makes quite the startling discovery, followed by some more scary ongoings.
The heck?
The heck? Very warm footage.
Hello? Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, taking a look at Mel's channel will inform you that this is the latest video on her YouTube channel, and it is almost 10 years old now.
Damn.
So it doesn't seem like Mel
That
will be
ghost is
posting
long
any follow-up
dead.
video to this particular piece of footage anytime soon. But all we can do is hope that she is safe today and has no more problems with paranormal entities. Scope uploaded the following video to TikTok, which
Go.
follows them as they walk around outside.
When
what
someone
looks
has
to
a
be an abandoned
like
building.
profile picture of them
The way
like
they are walking around with the
dressed
phone
as something
camera and
spooky, I
slowly
do
working their way
sometimes
around the edges of this house outdoors
immediately
indicates
question
that
the
they are trying
validity.
to get something on camera, all while being as quiet and discreet as can be. At one point in the video, they find a room that they are able to peer into.
I just think,
but
you know, if
ultimately
you're really into
finds
spooky
nothing
things,
in
maybe
it.
you're more
Little do
predispositioned
they
to
know,
see spooky
they
things.
already captured something terrifying on camera.
Probably makes sense.
Right at the beginning. Take a look.
Apa ya? Taunya namanya 5 tuh. Nah, kurang nyambung saya. Oh ini bang.
What
Nyata
was
lewat
it?
di
You
sini,
watched
Bang.
the other video?
Iya, baru ingat
Oval
saya.
red circle.
Saya baru ingat.
It's a rare one.
Ini lewat sini nih bang. Kurang nyambung saya. Oh ini.
Yeah, I
Bang.
heard they're gonna make the
Nyata
red circle
lewat di sini, Bang.
into an NFT,
Iya, baru ingat saya.
and you won't be able to use it unless you.
Although it may be hard to see, by slowing down the footage you can make out what appears to be some sort of weird figure. The uploader noticed it after they filmed this and believe it is a pokong. A pokong
Yeah,
is
no
an
one can ever
Indonesian
use the red
ghost
circle ever
that is
again.
said to be the soul of a dead person trapped within its shroud. I've featured pokong sightings in the past, and this is among the creepier ones. What do you guys think? Was this a real pokong caught on camera? Was it a hoax? Or was it something else
The
entirely?
red circle movie.
Let me know in the comments down
It's like
below.
that. It's like the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, or it's like that movie Rubber. Just a rolling red circle, like running
The
people over.
YouTube channel known as The Haunted Side has traveled to countless interesting locations that are allegedly haunted and have conducted investigations to see if they can capture anything scary on camera, and have been doing so to entertain their subscribers for
How
quite
dare
a long
you
time
use
now.
my shape?
In one of their videos, the crew heads on out to the Victor Hotel, located in Victor, Colorado. There isn't supposed to be anybody in the hotel that day besides themselves, and the hotel is actually closed when they arrive, meaning no outsider could just wander in. Back in the day, the hotel was a makeshift hospital, as well as a makeshift
When haunted by a red circle.
both
Yeah,
of
it's
which
like
were on the 4th floor.
some kind of industrial accident with a
One
batch
of
of
the rooms, room 406, was
contact
used to
lenses
store
they got.
bodies in the winter. During the
There's just
investigation,
a red circle that
the
appears in
haunted
all
side
the
attempts to make
contact
contact
lenses.
with one of the dead
I
miners
think that they
worked on
are
the
just seeing
hotel,
things.
named Eddie. It is said that Eddie fell to his death from the 3rd floor after he stepped into an empty elevator shaft and fell tragically to his death.
I used to have like a fear of
While
elevator
standing
death
outside
when
of
I was a
Eddie's
kid.
room, one of the crew members
I don't know
points the
why.
camera right
It's just
at
like
the
a heights
door,
thing.
and it isn't long before he
Big man.
starts to hear something absolutely
I think
chilling.
oh, you know why?
Have a listen.
Because of the Gremlins 2 movie. That's why. There's an elevator scene.
You hear me, Eddie?
You don't think about it, it doesn't bother me, but very big building. Elevators
I
are,
can
yeah, definitely
legit
kind of
hear
spooky.
someone walking around in here.
Whoa! Whoa!
Here it comes.
You hear me, Eddie? I can legit hear someone walking around in here.
It sounded like even the elevator door shut.
That's what I thought it was at first. I thought something happened with the elevator, and I was at 406.
Who-
and I
it
heard-
sounded
and
like
sounded
fucking,
it came
like
from this
Shao
side
Long
of the hall.
almost
I
or
was at the
something.
other end of the hall.
Whoa!
The footsteps are definitely creepy, but the banging noise is even more terrifying because the sound would be reminiscent of how Eddie fell to his death all those years ago. Later on, the crew members are walking around the aforementioned makeshift morgue room when they hear something tumble down the stairs.
The spookiest elevator is the elevators that are glass. Yeah, that's spooky.
What the hell was that? What was that?
Something fell down the stairs.
That was loud.
Where did that come from?
There's not a table over here.
That's the Bible, dude.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you.
Almost fell down the stairs. Oh.
Here,
A couple of minutes
Bible?
later, one of the guys, Patrick, is just
This
about
time
to start
near?
a sensory deprivation test when suddenly something incredibly odd can be heard. Listen closely.
So the reason we're doing this is because this elevator shaft is where somebody fell to their death. So Patrick is going to see if he can communicate with the person who died there.
Well, weird. I just got a dizzy feeling again, too.
Yeah, most hotels still have Bibles
I
and
just got a dizzy
nightstands.
feeling again, too. Dude.
After this, the crew hears yet another bizarre noise that startles absolutely everyone. It sounds like it could be the old rustic elevator moving around, but as they point out, the elevator didn't move an inch. So what could it have been? And watch here. This sound can be heard by everyone in the group, not just one person.
Not just one person.
Oh, I hope that's them.
I don't even know what that sound was. The elevator didn't even come up.
I hope that's them moving. Is that you guys moving the elevator?
You're not even on the elevator yet.
Oh. What the hell was that?
Are you trying? I just got really dizzy again.
We have no idea.
Jack, get out of your car. We need to shoot this part.
They then proceed to discuss just how weird and unexplainable this whole situation is, and decide to head upstairs to document some more things, when out of nowhere, this happens.
Me.
Again.
Sound we heard.
Again.
That's the sound we heard.
Dude, look.
Can you do that again?
And look,
It hasn't said a word.
and it's not saying it right now.
These guys are making.
Afterward, they are all gathered in one room on the top floor, and two more things are able to spook them,
Again.
but not quite enough to leave yet. Take a look and see.
Let's head back down the staircase.
Coat, percent, bar.
What the hell was that?
Nowhere near that.
That was a percent bar.
What the hell was that?
Heard. Numb.
Heard? What was that?
Herb.
That wasn't the refrigerator because they don't make that kind of noise.
Is it just Warner Brother?
Yeah.
That was good.
Like literally look.
What?
The thing is moving.
No.
It's moving.
Okay.
Yeah, turn.
Warner Brother.
Yeah.
That was good.
Like literally look.
What?
The thing is moving.
No.
It's moving.
No.
Door to the cabinet?
Dress.
Lights going back on.
Put on the
That was
dress.
moving.
Did it?
Well,
I got it on
I
here
never
moving.
say no to my spirit box.
Me.
Me?
It said me
Eventually,
dress.
however, they enter the elevator and are a few minutes away from calling it a day and leaving. But seeing as how the elevator definitely has quite the terrifying past, you'd expect something to happen while they're in it, right? Well, if you thought that, then you are 100% correct. Watch
They
this
plummeted
terrifying
to their
moment
death.
while they
And
are
then the
all
video
huddled
just
together.
ends.
Eddie, are you coming through here right
Like,
now?
whoa, what the fuck?
What if we just saw shadows
Just
like, fall
fall.
through?
What if we just fell to our death right now?
What the hell was that? It has not done that.
No. It felt like something hit
It
this
felt
thing.
like
The whole
something
thing
hit it.
shook.
It felt like something hit it. What if we just saw shadows
Just
like, fall
fall.
through?
What
the hell was that?
The Victor Hotel is without a doubt one of the most chilling and mysterious haunted locations I have seen videos on in quite a long time.
The hell was that?
Also, this video begs the question, was the ghost of Eddie making his presence known throughout this investigation? Was this a setup? Let me know what your thoughts on this situation are in the comments below.
The hell was that?
5 scary ghost videos that would make you lose sleep. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary content.
That's Sir Spooks. We're gonna watch one more because I actually was enjoying that. He has quite a library of fucking spooky videos here. Don't go back too far because the audio starts to get like choppy. 5 scary videos that will give you goosebumps. Bum 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 bum.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 5 scary videos that'll give you goosebumps. So, let's begin.
Oh, that guy.
Just a reminder to go subscribe to my new channel Spooky Hour, and turn on the notification
Hour?
bell
Okay.
to make sure you don't miss any new uploads.
I think I
Link
actually
in the
did
description.
subscribe to that channel. He doesn't post anything there.
Soy Ramses is a
Soy
decently sized
Ramses?
YouTube channel that focuses on a man named Ramses, who uploads plenty of content related to the paranormal.
Oh, like
various
Spanish.
different
Okay.
investigations, and much more.
I am
In one video
Ramses.
published on January 3rd, 2021, Ramses ventures out to an eerie haunted cemetery at an unknown location to conduct an investigation. Luckily, or unluckily,
I thought it was
for
just gonna be
Ramses,
like a man
he
made
got
out of
what he wished
tofu.
for. At around the 7-minute mark, Ramses is shining his flashlight in front of him when something startling catches his eye. Take a look.
Como pueden ver, estoy un poco... ¡A la madre! ¿Qué es eso? ¡A la madre! ¡Ay, que me caigo!
That grave kind of looks like a big hot tub.
¡A la madre! ¡Ay, que me caigo! Dios, 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 Dios.
Firework?
Later on at 1:30 a.m., Ramses uses a spirit box to attempt to make contact with the dead. What at first sounds like a bunch of static suddenly starts to make
I
sense.
don't know if that was a good idea
The
for
word
Radio
narcotic
Shack to drop the
translates
S
to
from
leave.
Shack.
If the spirit box
Kinda
only
hurt their
said
brand a
narcotic
little bit.
once, then you could potentially brush it off as a
I
fluke.
know they wanted to be cool with the
But a few
millennials,
seconds
but
later, it happens again.
Te estoy molestando aquí. ¿Necesitas algo? Te estoy molestando aquí. ¿Necesitas algo? ¿Te estoy molestando? ¿Por qué dijiste mi nombre?
A little later on, while standing in the middle of the cemetery road, he sees something else
Pretty.
that chills him to the core. Watch
I like that
this.
shot.
Cuando vino creo que se quedó un poco más adelante de aquí. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¡A la verga! ¡Ay, no, 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 no!
Mm-hmm. Like a guy walking by. So you can be there, but that guy can't be there?
At this point, Ramses is on the verge of leaving.
Probably like,
but
what the
he
fuck
isn't
is this dude doing with his
100%
life?
done quite yet. He tries to taunt the paranormal entity that is in the cemetery, but something scary happens to him, which causes him to leave the area and not return.
¡Cristo me acompaña! ¡Manifiéstate, maldita bruja! ¡A la madre!
Glass break?
¡Manifiéstate, no seas cobarde!
You hear that glass
¡No te
breaking?
tengo miedo! ¡A la madre! ¡No, no, 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 no!
So, what do you think? Was Ramses actually the target of an eerie spirit in this cemetery? Was this all a big hoax? Let me know in the comments below. In January of
Maximum
2013,
Disclosure.
the small channel by the name of Maximum Disclosure uploaded a short but sweet video that seems to document something eerie thanks to night vision footage at somebody's house. The camera footage seems to show us a room with the door hung open for a while, with nothing else of importance happening. But after about 20 seconds or so, we finally see what makes this particular clip so frightening. It almost looks
I
as
don't know if
though
this is
some
maximum
figure or
disclosure.
camera is walking straight towards the wall.
Couldn't there be more
But once you analyze
disclosure?
it simply doesn't make sense for many reasons. The biggest of which
This
being
is
how
like
the shadow disappeared in the
10%.
first place.
Definitely
if I was
not
the
maximum.
homeowner and I woke up to my camera footage showing this, I would be looking into new houses immediately. Let's just hope that this homeowner never had any other, more terrifying paranormal encounters. If you've been watching my channel for some time, you're probably aware of a channel called Dark Ghost Paranormal.
Never heard of it.
They are one of the best paranormal investigation style channels on the internet. And this video is no exception to their quality.
What
In this video,
the fuck?
Dark Ghost Paranormal explores an allegedly haunted house.
What was that
The backstory
thumbnail?
says that elderly people used to live in the house, and there was frequent paranormal activity that went on there. Most of it came from the basement. At night, they heard talking coming from the basement, noises in the house itself, and a constant sound of somebody trying to open up the basement. They then proceeded to hammer the basement in. At a later date, the
Hammer
residents
the
of the
basement
house
in?
died, and the house was then inherited by their relatives. But the relatives refused to live in the house, and now it is empty. A house with a backstory that interesting is sure to make for one good exploration video. And it sure does, as you'll see. Just 3 minutes in, we watch footage of a camera placed up high above, when something strange happens in the sink nearby. Then, just 30 seconds or so later, something genuinely terrifying happens.
No.
Сейчас чуть попозже еще подпишу.
It was someone in the basement. Whoa. It's like a fucking earthquake. Kidding me? To actually like move bricks like that?
The uploader is filming in one room of the house when he hears something odd coming from one of the other rooms. From this point, he begins to work his way around the house, and for a while, they seem to be
Like a bunch of
finding
people
some
outside
things.
shaking the house. Shake it up. Bang. See ya, space cowboy. I mean, the name of the channel is Dark Ghost.
Later on, the cameraman proceeds to enter the basement that I mentioned earlier. It's in this basement where the man filming begins to hear some truly scary things that startle him every time.
Truly
Take a look and
scary
have a listen.
things. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, what are these, like roots? What is all that? Witch hair? Uh-oh. Wasn't he trying to seal it back up? I guess to go back in and get that brick. Now something bad's gonna happen. Of course, of course, of course.
After this, the man leaves the house and hasn't returned for another investigation, and after watching
Ain't
what
they ever
happened
made
in
any
this
pizza
video,
in this oven?
blink.
Kind of looks like an old pizza oven.
Clive20278 uploaded this video to his channel in
What's
June
with
of
Clive Owen?
2010
I haven't seen him a lot
with the
in any
description
movies
reading,
recently.
I was working my usual shift and kept
Think
hearing
this is
a
the
lot
Clive
of
Owen?
noise coming from the common room.
He's
Thought
just, like,
it was
hanging out
the
with
usual
ghosts?
kids again, but when I looked at the tape, I was quite disturbed. So, what exactly happened that day that could have possibly caused Clive to be so frightened? Well, let's have a look and see.
What's that pole?
As you can see, this is obviously quite strange and seems like it could potentially be the work of a poltergeist. After all,
It looks
what else
weird.
could have caused this to happen?
Something
if
is
it
up with
wasn't
this
a hoax?
footage. It looks
Clive
very
further
strange.
states,
Like it's
"That
like
TV
backwards or
was
something.
definitely unplugged because it doesn't even have an aerial attached at the moment," further emphasizing the fact that, according to him, this video is not faked. So it begs the question, what did happen that day? I'm curious to hear your theories, so be sure to leave them in the comments down below. In a March 2021 upload, the YouTube channel Paranormies, a channel you should definitely check out, headed on out to the Hangman's Church to conduct yet another investigation at the building. A couple of minutes into the video, one of the crew is discussing to the camera something that happened during the investigation that comes across as very weird and freaky to them.
The Paranormies are the best, dude.
And then I had to quickly run to the get the K2 meter from the truck, and the doll was on the ground, but it was in such a weird position that it looked like it was sitting upright in the door frame. It could have fallen. We did notice a crack in the doll's head, and sometimes I wear headphones when we record just so I can monitor the mic levels. So it could have fallen, but I didn't hear it, and it didn't appear that Jordan
He shouts out everyone in his videos he uses.
That I found strange, but it's kind of take it as you wish.
Once they notice the doll on the ground, this happens.
I'll be right here. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Whoa. Huh? What's up? This doll is on the ground. Did you hear that?
It was upstairs? I heard something like from the stairwell or something.
I swear, yeah, obviously it was right there.
Was it like on the edge of the table or something?
Despite the creepy events that they have already been subjected to, the crew persists and moves into the
Doesn't
bell
look
room
like that
and
old.
discuss what they are about to do, a sensory deprivation test, when something suddenly diverts their attention.
Okay, well, obviously you're doing the sensory deprivation then. I'm not going to do it.
What? Why they just... Are those sleigh bells?
I definitely did just move on somewhere.
Once they are actually doing the sensory deprivation, the man behind the camera begins to talk to the potential spirit in the room and brings up the creepy backstory of the church, and it seems as though he gets at least some sort of a response. Thankfully, the man performing sensory deprivation is okay and doesn't get his hat moved like he did last time.
Okay, so he clearly isn't anywhere near this bell. Is your name Louisa?
Me. No.
Did you have any of the...
Got you.
Got you. Did you...
One.
Were you the mother of any of the kids that died here? We know that there was 14 kids that passed away in a short period of time here.
You are not the father.
Due to a fire. Is that true?
Really long.
After they do this, they move into another area of the church to try to make contact with spirits nearby, which sets off a domino effect of insanity.
Were you trying to move it to yes? Or to spell your name?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Okay, don't let go. Did you feel it?
What the fuck happened?
The thing fell. That thing fell.
Yeah, but why did it fucking fall?
I never saw the light, and Jordan says as well, he never saw the motion light going off. But if you watch closely, it looks like an entity of some sort is moving past the motion light, setting it off, knocking the picture down, and then with one of our static cameras, you can see what I believe is a shadow at least moving across from right to left of the screen.
There's something over there.
The
hell? Like it's everywhere in this place.
Who are the Paranormies?
The Paranormies know that they cannot stay too much longer, as they are already being subjected to tons of creepy things. They want to stay a bit longer, but then they hear something that makes them change their mind and leave.
Dude, get off. Yeah, I kind of want to go now.
Get the out of here.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Because the Hangman's Church is so haunted and so interesting, I wouldn't be surprised if the Paranormies head back there sometime in the future to do a part 3. But if they do, let's hope that they are prepared to once again face the angry spirits inside. And that was 5 scary videos that will give you goosebumps. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then subscribe for more scary.
Check out Sir Spooks. Here's a link to the video. He's a good guy. I think I will play a little World of Horror real quick. We got goosebumps. Damn, dude. Better be careful. You know what they say. I'll be back in like a minute. Tight. Sit tight. We're back. All right, let's play some World of Horror. It's been a little while.